Hey there everybody, hope everybody's doing well. So you saw my last video I did, the little short video of me rolling up the sushi. I did my style of southern sushi. I'm a fan of sushi. I learned to love it a long time ago. Back when I was in college, me and a bunch of friends would go out and we'd eat it, and I learned to love it then. But hey, I'm a lover of all foods, and then me being a Alabama fella, I got to put my southern roots into some sushi since I love the South and born in it, and it's in my blood. So I had to put my flair on some sushi. And if you'd seen my video of the Christmas, you know that I got the sushi kit for Christmas. Thank you again to my sister. I love it. And we actually got together one night, me and my brother-in-law and sister and other brother-in-law and sister too. And we got together and we just made a little night of it, of playing around, make some sushi and stuff. So it was fun getting to learn and eat it too. So that's the fun part, you're learning and eating at the same time. I'm no master for sure. I do watch the Diaries of a Master Sushi Chef, and he's pretty awesome to watch. So I guess y'all could spam him with my video here of my style of southern sushi, but he may tear me apart on how my technique and stuff is. Well, it sure did taste good, I know that. But like I said, I had to put my southern flair on it. So if you watch, you know I'm from Alabama, and then you know too I love my venison. So I had to put my venison into this one. So there's a little deer I killed, so took the back strap and cut it up and pounded it out a little bit and chicken fried it. So I had there's my good old southern flair too. And then also fried up some bacon to put in it too. There's some more good old southern roots. So had bacon and chicken fried venison, and then did some jalapenos for a little heat, a little sriracha as well for some more aspect of heat. Not hot, but just something there. Just like that's a nice. And then some cream cheese to kind of get that creaminess and kind of fat feel too, since the venison's so lean itself. But that's all that went in it. It's pretty good. Turned out really good. So we'll jump on into this video, and I can show you what all I did and all the steps that I took in order to get into the good old southern fried sushi, or whatever I'm gonna title it as. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. As always, I really do enjoy it, talking to y'all, especially in the comments and everything else. But like I said, we'll jump on into this. And y'all like, share, and subscribe if you want to too. I always enjoy that. And let's jump in. So this is what we're looking at ingredients wise. Got my good old venison there. You got the bacon as well. I mean, how can you go wrong with bacon? And I got my cream cheese to add in. My eggs there, so when I'm doing my egg wash and stuff to get a good coating on my venison. Got my sushi rice, and then my nori as well, and then my jalapenos for a little crunch, and then a little aspect of heat. And then I seasoned my venison off with some of my rubs that I've got made there. I just used my all-purpose one that I've got for this one, and it turned out really well for it. So I'll go ahead and probably start on my rice, because it's gonna take the longest, because I gotta do a cup and a half of it, and I'll set it in some just cool water, 2 cups of cold water, and that's got to sit for 15 minutes. So I guess it can kind of soak up the water and stuff and get ready and set. So I got it in my saucepan there, just letting it set and get ready. And then I'm gonna get my timer going there, so I got a reference point of when it started and everything else. And then I can go ahead and start on some of my fillings. I'm going to start on my jalapenos here and do a quick little magic chop on them and get them processed up and ready to go. Magic chop. There we go. Got them pretty. And there we go. Now I got my rice ready. It's soaked for 15 minutes, so I'm going to turn it on high. And I'll bring it up to a boil. And then once it's up to a boil, I'll turn it down to low and put on my lid there. And then it's got to cook. It's set for 20 minutes or until the water dried out. So I just kept an eye on it. And it took closer to around 10 minutes or so. So now I'll start on my bacon here. I'm just going to slice this bacon in half there so my pieces will go easier into the roll and then they cook better as well. So I got them cut up and in a pan, and I just kind of keep a medium set for my heat there so I can kind of just slowly cook them and render them out. That way I can have that fat later on when I cook something else sometime. I can use that good old bacon grease. There my rice is doing good. It's boiling there, so turn it on down to low, put on my lid, and then like I said, I just kind of sat and watched it, and it took close to around 10 minutes or so before it kind of just dried on out and got the moisture out of it. And there's my bacon there. It's looking good, cooking good. And there my rice. So it's shaking it there, and it was already done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off and slide it off the heat so it can start cooling down enough where I can handle it and it'll stick to the paper better as well. And then I've got to season my rice as well with some rice wine vinegar and then just a little bit of salt. So after my first batch of bacon, I went ahead and cooked another batch because I might have wanted something to snack on while I was waiting for stuff to go. So I got my bacon done, my rice is cool, and now I can go ahead and start on chicken frying my venison. Like I said, I've seasoned it off with some of my rub, and then I'm just gonna dredge it in my egg or flour, and then egg, and then back into my flour. And then I'll let that sit for around 5 minutes or so my batter can adhere well, and that way it won't come off all while I'm frying. So there's my rice vinegar and then salt. I'll put about, I'd say, 2 tablespoons of the rice vinegar in there, and then the salt was just to taste. So there I am starting on my venison, getting it good and fried up, getting all golden and delicious. I kind of wanted to eat it with a biscuit like that because I love it. Good with a little gravy and biscuit, or either just on a biscuit in the morning is good too. So there I am frying it up quick like. I wish I could do it that fast, but thank God for the power of editing, and I can cook it really, really fast. And there we go, got it done. Looks really, really good. So now I can let it cool a little bit too, enough to handle, and then I'll work on getting it cut into the pieces that I want to start the rolling process and filling in of the sushi. So there we go. I got everything set up and ready to roll now. So the nori's got 2 different sides. One's is a smoother side, and then one is a rougher side. And you'll use your rougher side for getting the rice stuck onto it. And you can see there I got a little cup there with some water. And if you'll keep some water handy when you're working with this rice, it'll work out better for you so the rice won't stick to you as bad. You can kind of just wet your hands off occasionally. That way when you're moving the rice around so you can get an even coating on your nori, it won't adhere to you and adhere better to the nori. So right here I'm just kind of eyeballing it and putting the rice around in different spots. And there you see I moistened up my hands there with the water, and I can start pressing around and moving the rice around where I need to and get a good even coating on the nori. And you can put how much ever rice that you want. If you want it good and thick, or either just kind of a thinner layer, you can just do it a little thinner. Right here, I'm just kind of trying to fill in some spots that were a little thinner than others, so I can have a good even coating. Because if you get it good and even there, you'll roll better. And see, I was wetting my hands down again so I can get it moved around. And y'all didn't tell me I had a string stuck to my left shoulder there. I didn't notice that the whole time while I was cooking that day, and then all of a sudden when I started looking back at the video, I was like, well, John, you had the little passenger riding on your left shoulder there with your string. Now I'm getting it pretty close to done and ready. I can start filling and flip it over. Just filling in a few more spots there. And that looks pretty good. And then once you got it stuck, you can just flip it over and start on your filling. And then I'd already cut some pieces of venison. I cut them about 1 inch in width. That way I can kind of keep a good even consistency through when I'm rolling. That way you'll have a more uniform roll. And I just went from end to end with it, of getting it rolled in there and getting it across. And I see me kind of just picking through the pieces of one that's gonna fit best in there. So once I got my layer of venison down, I was trying to think what to do next, and then I was like, oh yeah, cream cheese is gonna be best to go with next. So I started working on it, and you can cut the cream cheese and then cut the cream cheese again in half, and then that's how I did it. I just set it on top and just worked me a line down through the middle with it through there. Cut me another little piece to fit on the end there. And then I went with the jalapeno necks for color, and then spice, and then also give a little texture difference, of give them a little crunch in there. It's nice where you have different textures. Get that one broke off there and put in there. And then I can start with the good old bacon there. So it's going to add in a lot of different flavor with your bacon flavor. And then also it's got a little texture as well with the crunch too. And I just laid it kind of on the back side, just a little strip along the back. And then I add in the good old sriracha, so I can add a little aspect of kind of that garlicky heat in there. So just another aspect of spice, not hot, just something in there that it's just a good spicy taste to it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get my roll on. So I got it good and even and looks good. So I'm just kind of just flip it over, pull it towards itself, and keep doing that and pulling it and getting it tight. And with your little roller, if you'll roll it good and wrap it good in saran wrap, it'll roll better that way. It's not sticking all to it and everything else. And then you can just take that off and then rewrap it again when you're gonna use it another time. So I'm just trying to roll and roll and roll to get it tight and how I want it. And that looked pretty good. And now once I've got it rolled, I'm gonna start the cutting process. So I'll lay me another piece of saran wrap over the top of it and kind of form it to it a little bit. Do that so it can kind of be good and uniform, and then when you're going to cut, it won't stick to your knife as well. And also, if you'll get a little water and put on your knife, it'll help as well where it won't stick. I'm just gonna clean off my knife. If you keep your knife really good and clean, it helps as well when you're cutting it, and it'll look better for you, look prettier. You see, I'm dipping the water there, and then I can start trying to eyeball it and cut it. And sorry for the camera angle there. I didn't think about when I was cutting that my whole left side of my shoulder and everything would be in the way. But like I said, I was just kind of eyeballing, looking where I was going to cut even, try to keep your rolls good and uniform. And after each cut, I'd dip in the water. And you can clean off your knife to your paper towel as well in between each cut if you want to. And the way I cut it, I ended up with 8 rolls out of each sushi roll that I made. Just clean off my blade again there. Just be careful when you clean it off your knife not to cut off a finger or anything. There we go. Got it rolled and cut into little bites, so now I can cut cleaned up and get it presented on a plate, and there you go. A little good old southern fried, chicken fried sushi roll there for you. Just a little rice and the chicken fried venison, my jalapeno cream cheese, and bacon and sriracha. It was really good, and you get the nice rice wine vinegar in there, the little tang and the little heat and little crunch and little texture differences and all. So it turned out really well, so I was happy with it. So I thank y'all again so much for watching. Y'all like, share, and subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.